Welcome back to Play the Game, the podcast.
We hope you haven't missed us too much.
Remember our old set?
That's what the big boys had to say.
Yeah, so do we. So we decided to go outside, reformat the whole show, slim it down a bit.
We're still going to be bringing you interviews from around the gaming world, and we're still committed to gaming community, and culture.
Just in much more manageable and bite-sized pieces.
And it all starts here, today, on Play the Game.
In this episode, we're going to be meeting up with John for another installment of Small Jobs, in which he's going to teach us how to paint a face on a Mini.
Marty's going to be taking a crack at reviewing A Few Acres of Snow.
And Dave's going to be beaming in to bring us a review of the Star Trek deck building game.
Hello and welcome to another edition of In Play. In this edition I'm going to be looking at Star Trek, the deck building game. And there's a little confusion that people have about these kind of deck building games, especially if they're new to them. These are an outgrowth of what would be the collector card game genre, like Magic. The main difference between a collector card game, a living card game, and what is considered a deck building card game is how you acquire your cards and use your cards. In the collector card game series, you would buy a pack of cards, and that would be enough to play. But of course, you would want to start getting special cards or specialized cards that would allow you to enhance your gameplay, so you could have better attacks or better defenses. The way you would do this is through booster packs. The problem with the booster packs is you never knew what you were going to get. So you'd end up spending, I don't know, $20 or $30 going through all these booster packs, finding one single card that you could use or really wanted to use. So the outgrowth of that was what was considered the living card game. The living card game, you can still buy a basic set of cards and still play the game. But if you want to enhance the game or expand it, it comes in the form of these expansion packs. And the packs have listed on them clearly what is in the pack, so you know the cards you're going to get. This cuts down a little bit on the cost, but not on the fun of actually building your deck. And then the outgrowth of that is what is now considered the deck building game. The basic deck building game comes with everything that you need to actually play the game. You don't need to buy any boosters or anything like that. But it is built on the concept of expansion packs. These expansion packs can then have the cards that are added to the game for your use. Now the expansion packs in this particular series can be played independent. They already have one expansion out to this, and it's its own game, but you can incorporate the cards from that game into this game as well because the mechanics are all the same. So that's a basic rundown on the three different styles of these card games that are going on right now. Now, dealing with Star Trek, some of the things I liked were the fact that when they were designing the game, they took into account how you're going to be playing. So they thought out the theme very well. So this is like your star base. You've got your characters and your different kinds of cards and ships that come in your hand, but your play area is actually your bridge. So when you lay down your lieutenants or your commanders or any other stuff, it's on the bridge, which is kind of nice. And they also made it so that your stats on these cards all line up, so that when you play your cards, you don't have to play them next to each other or all fanned out. You can actually stack them quite nicely, and all of the attacks line up in one row, all of the speed and defenses line up in one row. It's very easy to add them up and tally what you're going to be able to do for that turn. The other thing I really liked about the game is they added in one deck manipulator right off the bat in the form of a Starfleet Academy card. And the Starfleet Academy card allows you to upgrade one of your base characters. You start the game with a few ensigns and a few lieutenants, and this card allows you to go 2 value higher. So if you have an ensign of value 1, you can immediately, if this shows up in your hand, trade him out for a lieutenant value 3. And if you have a lieutenant value 3, you can upgrade him to a commander of value 5. Why is this important? This is important because when you're building your card deck, you have to spend something. And in the case of Star Trek, it's experience points. That's kind of the monetary thing that allows you to buy cards. So your ensigns are only worth 1 point. Your lieutenant 2, and then your commander is 3. So you have to wait for these guys to come up in your hand before you can purchase. Now the best you can do on your first round is if you get all of your character cards for a total of 7 points. Everybody starts with the same base hand. So if you have your 7 points, then that's a really good lucky draw. And you'd be able to maybe pick up a secondary character or something to enhance your ship, that kind of thing. So the deck manipulator is a real winner for me because it allows you to start building your hand and your deck very, very quickly. The other thing I kind of liked is the fact that when you're buying your cards, you can see 9 cards that are able to pick, and everybody on their first turn gets a freebie where they can trash one and bring out a new one. That's very nice as well. It keeps this area fresh, and it gives people a chance to really kind of think about how they want to develop their hand and what card is going to help them. The other thing that's kind of cool is they have this other area over here for exploration. This is kind of like if you've ever played Thunderstone where you're going up against the monsters that are coming out of the cave or the tunnel. You have a specific thing that you have to complete to get point values. This is where your point values are going to come from when you explore. So you can draw one, free one every time, and if you don't like that, you can draw another one. You can only have 2 available at any one time. If you were to draw again, which you are able to do, one of those would have to come off. That would not be an option. And you can keep drawing these missions until you come across an event or a starship, in which case you have to stop and face that challenge. So all in all, the game moves along pretty good. It has 3 forms of play. One is a free-for-all, where everybody's just out for themselves. The second form of play is a team play, where you guys can work together as a team to go after missions and achieve points. And the last one, which is really cool, is where everybody at the table who's playing goes up against the Borg deck. And that one is tough. If you get some bad draws on that, the Borg are going to wipe you out. Plays from 2 to 5 players with this particular edition. If you were to bring in the expansion, you could play up to, I think it's 9 players with the expansion involved, but that's going to be a long game. It's for 13 and up, and it's a great play. By the way, this is a little play mat that I picked up. It doesn't actually come with the base game, so keep that in mind when you're purchasing. If you want something nice to put your cards on, that is an extra expense. So that's Star Trek the Deck Building Game. Marty and I are going to do an in-depth review because the one thing that Bandai kind of skimped on was the player manual. The manual is actually pretty thin, and there are some areas that are very vague. So when you're trying to figure out the gameplay or gameplay order, there's a little bit of confusion. So Marty and I are going to sit down and do a full playthrough on some of the scenarios and give you a better idea on how this game actually comes together and works. And you can find that on our website at www.playthegamepodcast.com.
Now here's John with another installment of Small Jobs.
All right, welcome back to Small Jobs. As you can see, I'm wearing my goofy goggles again. That's because we're going to be working on the face of the miniature that we did a little while back for base coating. Thought we'd get into some of the meatier details of the miniature. So we're going to get into that, and obviously I'm going to need some heavy-duty magnification for this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wash the miniature. At least wash the skin, in this case her face. And so I'm just using some pre-made flesh wash. We can use a darker color and really thin it out to make a proper wash, but a lot of the paint manufacturers now are actually making various washes for this sort of thing. So in this case I'm trying to actually concentrate around the various facial features, so the lips, the nose, the eye sockets to make those kind of pop. It may look a little dark, but it'll dry kind of nicely, and we're going to highlight over that anyway. Don't forget to get her ear. And so that's our wash, and that'll give us some bone structure to work with on her face. So now we're going back to the same flesh color that we used initially. This is kind of the Caucasian. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out some of the highlight features. Her nose, her cheeks, her forehead, maybe the bottom of her chin. I'm sorry, this part of her chin. So that those will pop. So I'm working the bridge of her nose, her cheeks. Can't see much of her chin, but we do have to get the tip of her ear. We're going to do the next highlight just to make it pop a little extra. I mean, you could stop at the one highlight there, but to make it pop a little more, I'm going to take the same flesh color that we used before and a little bit of off-white. In this case, I'm using a linen white. You could use just straight up white. By mixing an off-white, it gives you a little bit more character to it. And the thing is, when mixing paints, I kind of put it on the palette and pull it away from the two colors rather than trying to mix them into each other directly. Otherwise, you just kind of get a mess and you can't control it. If you need more white, then I can pull it back from the white. Or if I need more of the flesh color, I can pull it in from the flesh color. In this case, we got a nice looking flesh tone here. And let's get it on. I like to give my miniatures a little bit of life to them. So I tend to put some color into the face. What I've got here is just kind of a rose-colored paint. And so what I'm going to do here is take my same flesh color and just a little spot of that rose to kind of make almost a pink color, which is just a variation of that flesh tone. And with this, I'm going to lighten up her cheeks a little, give her cheeks a little rosy color, and apply it to her bottom lip. Maybe just a touch of her top lip. Again, this will definitely make the face pop. And that's it for the nice rose color. Now let's work on her eyes. I'm going to go back to that nice linen white. Because we used the wash, some of the wash color has gotten into her eyes. So by using the linen white, I'll be able to make them pop again. It's going to be a little tricky. So in that case, I'm actually going to go with a smaller brush. Winsor Series 7 000 Miniature. Kind of an absurd brush because it holds almost no paint at all, but we're painting two tiny little spots, so it doesn't take much. Now she kind of looks like a zombie. Big, bright, white eyes. We're going to give her pupils, and technically irises. Since I want to kind of keep the color scheme all tied together, I'm not going to introduce some other crazy blue or anything like that. I'm going to use the same green that we've been using on her cloak. By adding that nice little green color, it will tie it all together, bring her face into the picture, as it were. This is where you're really going to get the expression on her face. So if you got her looking at the ground, maybe she's just killed something, or she's looking to the side, she maybe is being sneaky, she might be gazing at her staff, expecting something magical to happen. It really kind of gives the character an actual persona by what you do with the eyes. I'm also going to tell you it's easier to cheat by putting the irises in one corner or the other than trying to hit it spot on. And you don't want to go too big, otherwise they get kind of wide-eyed and goofy looking, and if the pupil's too small, they look scared. So in this case, I'm kind of doing center looking downish, because that's kind of the way her face is pointing. So that's where I'm going. And that's how to paint the face of a miniature. Thank you for joining us this time on Small Jobs. Next time we're going to get into shading and highlighting of the same miniature and see how that works out. If you want to see this and other segments on Small Jobs, please be sure to check out playthegamepodcast.com in the Small Jobs section. Thanks for joining us.
And another game we're going to be playing today is A Few Acres of Snow. This is the French and Indian War. You are trying to take land and claim victory over your opponents. This game is made for 2 players, and it's a deck building game. Now, the game is made up of 2-player decks and an additional deck of settlers and fortifications and Native Americans that you can throughout the game purchase, but they're a limited deck, and you put them in your hand. But for each player, you have a set number of cards and a starting hand, generally denoted by a different color. These are darker blue. Now, the French get blue cards, and the British get red cards. And in your hand, you have locations that you have already fortified that you start with, and they are tied to other locations that you can get to via rivers or the sea. As your turn begins, you draw 5 cards, just like any other deck building game. These cards represent locations in the game, locations that you've already claimed and have colonized or want to fortify later on. They also have locations that you can go to and continue to colonize, all the while building up your side, which gives you more victory points towards the end and routes to get to your opponent's locations. The board is divided between, again, the British and the French. This is entirely a two-player game. Now, in front of the players, they have a location for available location cards. These are cards that you claim as you take locations throughout the game. There are available empire cards. These are cards that you can purchase with money that you make throughout the game, and they add to your deck and they build your supplies. There is a reserve area. The reserve area is a place where you can play cards to and bring them out as you need them later on. You can have a maximum of up to 5 cards in reserve. They are free to play once you have put them in reserve. The next space is your draw deck. Of course, this is where you are pulling all of your cards from as you play your hands. There's a discard pile, a French siege, and a British siege pile. And those come into play as you are actually sieging. The British player starts in at advantage. They have 12 money to start the game. The French start with 5, so it behooves the French player to find a way to make money quickly, otherwise you find yourself at a disadvantage early and often throughout the game. The nice thing is the French can also hire pirates or use a piracy card and just steal money from the British, which is always a good time. You have these coins. There are large gold ones. They denote 5 coins. You have small silver ones. They're good for 1s. The other pieces that come with the game are these little squares that denote colonies. And then you have round pieces that denote cities. And then you have these black pieces that are used for fortifications. Now, as you go through the game, as you establish areas, you start with the small piece, and then you go to the bigger pieces, and then the fortifications. Now, throughout the game, you're either under siege at points, or you're being raided. Again, either side can hire Indians to raid colonies, and this disrupts supply lines. This can be used to ambush soldiers, to cut down on reinforcements in battles. The nice thing with the Indians is they act as mercenaries, and they kind of go to the highest bidder. There are cards in your decks that allow you to steal the Indians from the other player, so you're basically going back and forth on who they're working for. They actually have no true allegiance, and it's kind of a wild card within the game. On the board here, we also see that there is a siege track for when you are battling. There are the colonies here, denoted in blue for the French and red again for the British. They have the victory points for holding those cities listed next to them. They also have little military symbols to tell you the strength of the town if it's under siege, what its natural defense is. They also have these little ship symbols which refer to them as port cities and also mean that if you were to siege that town, you could use ships to siege that town. Basic turn structure plays out like this. On the first turn, each player has 1 action. There's a huge list of actions. It's actually a little intimidating the first time you play it. As you go through, it becomes easier. You start to learn which actions actually matter and which ones can be held off on, and it varies the way you play. But the instruction book, which is here, has all of the available actions to you. Now, on your first turn, you only take 1 action. Each side only gets 1 action, so you get to decide, do you want to draw a card, do you want to buy something, do you want to attempt to move to a new location? And then on every subsequent turn, each player gets 2 actions, and only 2 actions. So the game actually moves pretty quickly once you get into it. But the turn order itself starts with you determining if you are in a siege and to see who won the siege. Now, sieges are pretty quick. Most times you're trying to go in and siege something and just overwhelm your opponent, because as the siege markers laid out, if the sieger has 2 points more than the defender, they win. But if the defender has only one more point than the sieger, the attacker, stop using sieger, then the attacker, the defender wins. So you generally kind of want to go in with overwhelming force and just obliterate the opponent's army. You win the game either by taking Boston or New York if you're French, or Montreal, or Quebec if you are British. The other way to win is to get all of your pieces out. If all of your squares are on the board, you win. Well, you end the game. If all of your circles are out, you end the game. And then you go through the board and you total up the amount of victory points per colony that you own, and you take the amount of colonies that you may have won from the other player into account. If you have a square, it's 1 point. If you have a circle, it's 2 points. And you add that up. And that is actually how I've won games. Like, the people I've played have pretty much been kicking my butt the entire time, it feels like. And we get to the end, and I've taken enough territory to actually claim the game and win. So it's an interesting back and forth between your armies, and it's never really decided up until the end unless you've just lost your major town, and then that brings the game to an end. So that's kind of a few acres of snow.
So that's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed the new format.
Please drop us a line at playthegamepodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we should change.
Check out our other videos and episodes on Board Game Geek and YouTube.
Feel free to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And stop by our website at playthegamepodcast.com.
That's it for this episode, folks. See you later.